More of this shit, huh? Welcome, guys. Welcome, 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 welcome. Yeah, I'm talking to Grace Randolph. Welcome to another Grace Randolph video. I hope you're all doing good. I hope you're all really doing good this evening. Tonight, we're gonna take a look at this Grace Randolph video that she did a couple days ago. Yes, a couple days ago. Right after the Robert Downey Jr. casting, the Fantastic Four, San Diego Comic Con recap, whatever it's called. It's actually 42 minutes long. I'm not sure. I'm not sure how long she's going to talk about Doctor Doom and all that. It's 42 minutes long, really. It's a long. It's a long as. It's a long ass video. Yeah, 42 minutes. So please be patient with me, guys. Please. If you could do that, I'd really be really appreciated if you could be patient with me. All right. So I don't. I'm not sure if blind is coming on. Maybe it is coming on. I'm not sure. Make sure to leave a like, please. I really would appreciate it. Chat, you could tip me up here. It's pinned. You could tip me. For whatever. All right. Okay, so Binder will be there. Thank you. Actually, just I have to go take a little break right now before I after 3 minutes of the video. Yeah, I'll do that when I get back. Thank you. I'm back now. I'm back. So while we wait for Blinded, he will be here soon. He will be here soon, guys. While we wait for Blinded, couple announcements in the works. Okay, tomorrow there's gonna be a stream later tonight, same time as tonight. It's gonna be Marvel related. It's gonna be an interesting topic, a very interesting topic. Okay. Also, no exact date for this, but I am gonna put up a Batman Cape Crusader non-spoiler review. Uh, Most likely Saturday, Friday or Saturday. I'll try to watch. Most likely, a Saturday. I'll try to watch most of it between tomorrow and Friday. So most likely Saturday, um, as a video, And then a non-spoiler review maybe Saturday night for Batman Cape Crusader. No, okay. A Batman Cape Crusader non-spoiler review maybe Saturday. Okay. And Sunday, thank you, Red Buddy. And Sunday, a spoiler stream of Batman Cape Crusader earlier in the afternoon, and then Sunday night we'll do Grace Randolph on Batman Cape Crusader. I hope that sounds good, man. There's 10 episodes for Batman Cape Crusader. 10, and I'll be right back. This is not good because I don't see myself. Be right back. Okay, now I'm back. Stupid. That's the problem with this stream. This restream stuff. Was cheaper, but I gotta go back to share. So once again, tomorrow, a live stream tomorrow night. Cape Crusader this weekend, and next Friday. I think it is next Friday. I could be wrong. It could be next Friday. D23. D23 Friday. I think that's yes. D23 next Friday, not this Friday, next Friday. And what's up, Red? And so he says at the 3-minute mark, I'll wait for Blinded to come on. You know what? I'll skip to the 3-minute mark. Okay. There we go. 3-minute mark. There we go. All right. We'll just show her beautiful face for our viewers. Okay. yeah, there's her face for our beautiful viewers. I will. Okay, he will be there soon. I mean, I think he has to go on his laptop because this drains his. I know for a fact this restream drains his phone battery, so maybe he might go to his laptop. Oh, we announced Zero's live. Interesting. Oh, 7 likes. Thank you. Come in chat. Also, Streamlabs link there. I'm not sure if anything's gonna pop up, but if it doesn't, I have a way to see your message. So, Red, if you do tip me, but it doesn't pop up, don't worry. I will get your message out, and I will read your message. Read your message. I'm kidding, George. You know I'm kidding. All right. I'm waiting for blind. I'm waiting for blind, and they're gonna invite more people on. And where's my buddy Degrassi? Degrassi, I haven't talked to you all day. All day, Degrassi. Where are you? She looks better with the glasses. All right. First, I'm gonna get blinded on because I don't want to start this out. I mean, look. All right. I mean, look. She doesn't look that bad. Yeah, she needs sun. Oh no, I think she goes to the theaters. I think the theaters know her. Like they have like I think the theater people are friendly with her. I'm gonna be honest. I think they're very friendly with Grace. I can see them being very friendly with Grace, Randolph. Um, but yeah, once again, guys, tomorrow another stream at night. Oh yeah, for your wrestling fans, there's a stream for wrestling tomorrow. But there's also gonna be another stream on this channel tomorrow night. All right. Friday, there might be something. I don't know. It might be Friday, maybe. Maybe something Friday. The pause doesn't help me. I'm waiting for Blinded. Then I'm going to invite more people on. that's the issue. Um, Blinded. He's never early. Okay. All right. I'm going to do some. I'm going to do also, once Blinded comes out, other invitations are coming out. Are going to come out. Don't worry. Do not worry. All right. Come on. Should I start? Let me see. Start. Let me see if I can. Can I start without her? Okay. Let's do this.
To announce his return to the MCU as Dr. Doom. And we were all like, what the fuck?
Hey, do you think it's a coincidence? Do you think it's? Do you guys think it's a coincidence she's wearing green, or she's a green shirt, or is that on purpose? Blinded chat. What do you think? Is that on purpose or a coincidence? She's wearing
I mean,
green.
she makes reference to it. I don't know if it was. I think it was by accident. I think
Oh,
that's
so
what
it's a
she said.
coincidence.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you. So Blind is here.
Yeah. What's
What's up,
up, everyone?
Blinded? What's up? All right. Yeah. So other invitations are going out now. So I needed you come on first.
Yeah, the video is like, you could stop around either like the 25-minute mark because you don't have to watch the entire video. Like you just want to. She makes her points and then she pretty much gets into
Hmm.
some random. She kind of like at the ending before she does the Q&A, she kind of just repeats herself a little bit, so you don't even need to talk about that.
Okay.
Yeah, it just keep it like her normal videos because her videos are pretty lengthy too, like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. All right. Let's continue on. So I just. All right.
yeah, I'm trying to. Sorry, was trying to upload a video.
Grace is crazy. I don't think she's crazy.
Yeah, I'm not
Like,
sure if she's crazy, but
what?
yeah.
Like, honestly, this
Well,
is
she's
what
a
I have
little crazy,
prepared, right?
actually.
You think?
Yeah, this was pretty shocking. I mean, I don't think anybody thought this was going to happen.
No. We all brushed it aside. We're
Yeah.
like, nope. All right.
Right? So apparently in this case, you die a hero, or did he? And you come back a villain.
That's not the case here, man. This is
Well,
not.
I mean, I have a feeling that line from The Dark Knight, like, that's definitely inspired by this casting. Like it's hard to deny that, right? Like, you either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
Well,
That's pretty much what applies here, right?
here's the problem with that. It's not going to be that Tony Stark.
Yeah, it's not going to be that Tony
So
Stark, but
there's
the idea of it in general, though.
I know, but
But yeah, I get the point.
but
Though.
the villain has to be alive for that to be the villain has to be alive for that to be the case for him to be a hero.
Yeah,
For
like
Two-Face.
right.
It works with Two-Face.
Oh, what? Like, I gotta tell you, by the time Robert Downey Jr.'s Tony Stark left the MCU, he kind of was a villain. Everyone was like, you're the 1%, man. Look at you. Leave Cap alone. And Tony was
What?
Yeah.
What? What is she talking about?
like,
I think
he
she's talking about
killed
Civil
my
War.
parents. And we were all
Huh?
In Civil War, what happens in Civil War? I guess.
Oh, yeah, I don't. I really don't.
Because Iron Man was the villain. I mean, technically, right? It's just that Baron Zemo was the, you know.
He was there. I would say they're both. Here's the thing. I would say Iron Man and Captain America
Mhm.
were not villain or heroes in that movie. I think they were just regular people. Like I wouldn't say they're either hero or a villain.
Well, I mean, like Iron Man is definitely the antagonist of the film.
Yeah, but it's hard. I mean, like I guess in a way you could say that.
Well, I mean, it is that he's not like a villain per se, but he
No.
is the antagonist because Captain
Antagonist.
America's the protagonist, right?
Antagonist and a villain is a different thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's just antagonist is the opposition to the protagonist.
Yeah.
So they don't necessarily need to be a
all
villain, but
Yeah.
chances are they're going to be.
So yeah.
like, he was mind controlled. Get over it, you loser. So that's how we were all at. Oh, I
Here's mind control. Get over it, you loser.
wasn't acting that way, but I saw everybody else doing it. And it had seemed that
I mean, to be fair, in Civil War, with all that advanced technology in, they can't zoom in on the face and see it's not Bucky Barnes that committed that bombing. I mean, they should be able to tell. I mean,
Well,
but you need a story.
yeah, you need this. You need the story.
Yeah. Come on, like, cause we saw that we saw in the monitors some recovered face, and you assume it's Bucky Barnes. We know it's Zemo, pretend, but like you can't zoom in on that. It can whatever. I mean, we'll.
Robert Downey Jr. had really lost the audience. So I guess he's like gonna embrace his villainhood and a giant Marvel check and come back. I gotta tell you,
Really lost his audience. I don't think he lost his audience. What is he talking? Lost his audience? Does she mean Maybe she meant Marvel lost his audience when he sacrificed himself, when he left the MCU for a while. Maybe that's what she means, because she didn't lose his audience.
Right.
I don't understand what she's trying to say. Like, what does she mean by that? And he's embracing his villainhood? Dude, he got for so much money. He has so much power and influence. Marvel caved into him.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Marvel caved into him. Marvel caved into the Russos, and the Russos I think caved into them too. This was desperation on the MCU to bring back the Russos and Robert Downey Jr. It was all desperation. Even though we don't, it's all desperation. Okay, this is them to save face. Damn, I think Degrassi said it best. Damage control.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if Degrassi's in the chat or if it's whatever.
It is definitely damage control.
Yeah, but Degrassi, if you're in the chat, say hope you're doing well.
It reeks to me a little bit of Robert Downey Jr. doing what's best for Robert Downey Jr. And that
Yeah, people are saying that. People are saying that. What are you saying? 80? Is it 80 million for both films combined, or 80 million a film? I would never give an actor 80 million. I'm sorry. It feels like he's running the asylum. Like,
I mean, well, I really wonder how this like played out, right? Because who went to who first? Was it Marvel went to Robert Downey Jr. first, or was this something that they were
Roos.
kicking around?
Well,
Because the Russo brothers came in last, right? That's what
I think the Russo brothers. I think it said Robert Downey Jr. was only willing to come back because of the Russo brothers.
right. But who went to who first?
Oh,
Was it like was it Marvel and Robert Downey Jr. have been talking and
I think it was
they came up with some idea?
I think it was Feige. Honestly, I think it was Feige.
Yeah, because it's. I mean, I'm curious because this is.
I don't think it was
even
them.
though
I
I'm
think it
in
was Feige.
favor of this.
I think it was Feige. I think it was Kevin Feige.
Yeah, probably.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. He has to get Bob Iger's permission to give all his demands to Robert Downey Jr. Right? Like.
Yeah, but I feel like Bob Iger was like, well, the MCU, you're gonna need to fix this, right? And this was the pitch. We'll do Dr.
You
Doom.
know how they sent it rolling to over half a billion.
Over half a billion for both. You mean like when it's all said and done?
Yeah,
or he's not getting that up front. He's not getting 500 million.
No, obviously not up front. But you know how it's like Bob Iger said they could probably reduce the budgets for some stuff. Yeah, that sounds like a lie. If you're gonna give it to the, I think. Thank you. Yeah, this is what I've been saying. Yeah, I think Feige went to Robert Downey Jr. Yeah, this is the story. Yeah,
right.
Feige went to Robert Downey Jr. and Robert Downey Jr. said of Russo's comeback, but Feige probably had to ask Iger because Iger is the owner. Well, she's not technically the owner, but he's a CEO. But you have to get permission, right? You always have to go by their boss at the top to get permission to do this, right? So probably Iger gave him the green light, and
definitely.
If I was coming back in that movie, if I was Chris Hemsworth, or Chris Hemsworth especially, I'm asking for a huge raise too, man. I'm asking for a huge raise. Like, if I'm Chris Evans, if he is coming back, let's say he's coming back in Secret Wars, I'm asking for a huge raise also. I look at that sports. Look at that sports. Somebody gets a huge contract, another really good player sees that contract, be like, I'm just as good as him. I'm just as valuable as him to my team. I want something just as similar or more.
Well, I mean, he was going to get money regardless.
Yeah, but
Feige went to RDJ.
Yeah.
RDJ said only if the Russos come back.
$50 million per
he's
film.
Up front.
Still nothing compared to athletes, though.
Yeah, because he's gonna make a lot of money on the back end for sure.
But I mean, like,
because these movies are gonna make just as much as the last two, if not more.
If you see, Blinded, if you gamble with Finbar about the Avengers movie not making $1 billion like you did with
no, I'm not gonna gamble that one.
No, you're not.
The last two Deadpool movies didn't make $1 billion, so that's why I was like, well, and there's superhero fatigue, right? There's some people that are mixed.
But I don't think this movie's gonna be affected by superhero fatigue unless.
I don't think anybody thought this would be affected by superhero fatigue. I'm also like, I think the movies that we expect to make money, they will make money. The movies that don't make money won't make money.
Unless Thunderbolts or Captain America is relatively shit,
I mean, Thunderbolts comes out right in May, and
Yeesh.
next year for May, I'm not sure what's there. So maybe it
I don't know
does
either.
okay.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Unless they have like something that they're not showing us that's like going to be front and center in the trailer. I'm not sure how it's going to be received. Captain America, I mean, yeah, it could be like an Ant-Man scenario where it opens big, but then if it gets bad reviews, it could just crumble, right? So
Hmm.
I don't think Marvel is just because Deadpool has made all this money. I don't think they're bulletproof all of a sudden. I think
Yeah,
I think they. I mean, yeah, they if they're not making projects that people are not interested in, people are not going to show up. And I also have a feeling that the reason why they're also doing this is because I think they want Fantastic Four to be a surefire hit.
they need it to be for sure. I think.
If the thing is like, I mean, yeah, like no one really knows how Fantastic Four will turn out box
Oh,
office wise. Like, I think that's definitely a wild card compared to Captain America and Thunderbolts, which Captain America could definitely make money depending on if it's good. Thunderbolts, who I don't know, it's not going to make
and
what a Marvel movie normally makes in
generally,
May.
Marvel has done well in February, like with Black Panther,
Well,
Captain
with Black
Marvel, Bucks,
Panther,
and
that's
Captain.
it.
I know you don't like Captain Marvel, but the movie did well.
Captain Marvel was in March.
March. Oh, you're right.
Yeah, the only movie that did well for
Was
them
Black Panther?
is
Yeah,
Black
Ant
Panther.
Man was. They were surprised the Ant Man didn't do
Yeah,
well.
Ant-Man opened big and then yeah, it just crumbled.
Yeah, let's continue on.
That's what got him into trouble in the first place. That's how he got into trouble. He said, I want to be in Captain America 3. And he's like, I'm coming in here whether you like it or not. And we were all like, don't know if I like it, Tony. And so that's how I feel. Well, I'll do a poll. I was going to do it a little bit later, but I'll do it right now. I would have preferred another actor because this just makes Doom a variant of Tony Stark, which he clearly.
That's what. But you and I might be saying. These possibilities,
Right.
right? Yeah.
Well, I'm pretty sure. Again, I don't understand how this would work if he's not some kind of variant. Um, and the way that, like I said, I mean, what does that say right there? New mask, same task. So I mean, why say that if that's I
Yeah.
mean, so in other words, are they going to then mislead people into thinking that there's some connection, but it's entirely not? He's just playing another character. I don't know. It's just it has to be. I mean, it's the multiverse saga. There's a lot more potential. I mean, we'll see what happens, but I'm not seeing how it could just be he's just Victor Von Doom and he's going to be the MCU version of Victor Von Doom going forward. I just can't comprehend that.
People
Because
don't.
then it's like then Doctor Doom is not sticking around for very long.
People don't understand how powerful Doctor Doom is, how intelligent, and how he is. Like, doesn't matter which version. Like
Right.
Doctor Doom was one of the most intelligent villains in the MCU, and he's one of the most not manipulative, but I say he's one of the most passionate, one of the most determined villains there is.
Yeah. I mean, he's definitely. I mean, he's the Marvel villain. Let's be
Yeah,
honest, right? Like, it's just that he hasn't really been in a big movie, and I think this is their attempt to be like, okay, like we fucked up with Kang. We should have really, in all reality, they really should have
and
just been setting up Doctor Doom.
and the actor,
But
I mean, like Jonathan Majors came out today. He's very
yeah,
just
he's like, oh, disappointed. I mean, what? Well,
don't get
he's
in trouble.
disappointed that they're not continuing with Kang and not him. But the
Yeah,
thing is, Kang is not going to make money. That's the difference.
no.
Why would Marvel put Kang front and center in a movie after Ant-Man bombed? I
Here's
don't.
the thing.
That doesn't make sense.
Here's the thing. Everybody that's talking about this next saga, yes, Kang is gonna be the multiverse saga, but everybody's talking about Doom, 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 Doctor Doom, Doctor Doom,
Mhm.
Doom, Doom, Doom. We want to see Doom. Doom is like the number one villain we want to see this in the MCU above any other villain. We've been
Right.
right. Yeah, you're right, Degrassi. Yeah, I know. Yeah, they are. Doom. I'm like, Doom.
Really is instead of his own character. And you know his face isn't going to be scarred. You know it. You know there's no way that Robert Downey Jr. He'll have
course
like
his
a
face is
Hollywood
gonna be
beauty
scarred.
scar. He'll be like,
No clue what Grace is
That's the
talking
thing.
about here.
That's what happens to him. That's that. You know how the Fantastic Four, how they became the Beast. That's how Doctor Doom was very similar like that. We get the metallic face, right?
Mhm.
That's why he wears a mask. What do you think he wears a mask for?
Yeah, there. Of course, that's part of the character. I don't. She's just said that she's not a big fan of Doctor Doom, but then she's like, "There's no way he's not gonna have this, or he's not gonna have the scar. He's gonna have like this tiny little
Bullshit.
thing, you know." No, I think they're going to. The thing is, I don't think he has a problem with well, I think he is going to be in the mask, and I think that's maybe why Robert Downey Jr. wants to play the character, because then he could act a little bit different, you know, and it's
Yeah.
not going to be super distracting. But I mean, of course, he's going to show his face. That's what I'm saying. Like that's again, if they show his face and none of the characters, all the characters are supposed to go, "Oh, who's that guy?" Yeah, no one's believing that shit, right? Like, come on. Like, I just don't believe how they're gonna say, "Oh, he's not." No one's gonna recognize his character as Tony Stark.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, he can be Victor Von Doom, but someone is gonna look at him and be like, "Wait a minute, you look like Tony Stark." That's what the story is. I don't see how it cannot, because then, in other words, what? So why bring Robert Downey Jr. besides, yes, he's a good actor? It's like, you know what I mean? Like, you could have gotten a bunch of other great actors
Yeah.
to play
Of course.
Doctor Doom.
There's a reason why. There's a reason why about Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know. I gotta check out the rest of this
yeah.
episode. I only saw the first 2 episodes to grasp, but I know what you're talking about. Um,
like, oh, I have a little bit of a problem on one little patch on my face. And you'll just be like, what the F? Okay, so hold on. What do you think
she types really fast.
of RDJ as a Tony
I think her
Stark
mic is just
Doom
right near
variant?
her
And he has
cheese,
to be a
that's
Tony
why.
Stark Doom variant because he's got Robert Downey Jr., Tony Stark's face. Okay. All right. Love it. Intrigued. Very upset. And then we'll do a third. I don't know how to feel. I don't know how to feel, man. I don't know how to feel. All right.
Oh my god. Okay.
Anyone can vote in the poll, but I mean, anyone can chat too. You just have to hit the subscribe button. All right, so let me bring up another picture if you just want to even more be like, what the hell is happening? Here he is.
I don't know why he needs the glasses. Like. I thought it'd be like Dr. Octopus if he wore glasses like that. He wears the green and be like Dr. Octopus. Can you imagine if he was the MCU's Dr. Octopus instead?
Mm,
I don't know. I don't think Dr. Doom wears sunglasses. Like, seriously.
Oh man, he's even got the Tony Stark sunglasses on. Tony, what are you doing? What are you doing, man? All right, so by the way, so while they were doing this, they said Secret Wars 2027.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, did they delay Avengers 5? And they were like, no, Avengers Doomsday 2026. And you're like, that's so freaking soon. How are you going to pivot like this? All right.
How are they gonna pivot like this? I mean, if they're planning to release the movie May 2026 still, they definitely went to the drawing board, went back to the drawing board, and have plans how they're gonna do this. I mean, it's not like they pulled out the date out of their ass.
right.
It's something they discussed. Fahi and his cronies discussed. Yeah, I'm gonna call them his cronies. I don't know why. I just find it funny. He doesn't have to be a Stark variant. Look, we know Kevin Feige is knowledgeable comic books, so let's Okay. This is him. This is Kevin Feige, right? This is Kevin Feige's plan. He's very knowledgeable comics because I guarantee the Russos don't know about um Tony Stark, the Tony Stark Victor Von Doom in the comics. How there's a version of Victor Von Doom that's
I don't think anybody knows that. That was like some limited, small time
yeah. The only person that knows
thing.
that's probably Feige.
I don't even think they know that, to be honest. I mean, I think possibly the thing that may have inspired this is the infamous Iron Man. I think that that one is more recent, and that one is Victor Von Doom, who is Iron Man. So, I mean, the thing is, like, people, I know people are like, oh, but Iron Man and Doctor Doom, like, it's kind of random, but it's really not. Because
No.
if you really go back and look, Doctor Doom has gone up against pretty much every single major Marvel villain. I mean, he went up against Daredevil too. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, he's pretty much the villain, the main universe villain, right? Like, he will go up against the characters even if they're solo, right? Like, it will go up against Spider-Man and
Yeah.
Captain America and whoever, right? It just depends on the writer and what they want to do. So,
Marvel had to
um,
get in before DC. Oh, they were scared.
I mean, would
Yeah.
Robert Downey Jr. really go to DC? I don't know.
Who would be into DC though? Like, because he wouldn't be like there was no character in DC where I would think he'd be a caliber of Tony Stark. He
To
can't
be
be the
honest, I can't really see him going to
yeah.
DC. Like,
I mean, he can't be. He's too old for Batman, if you ask me. I mean, if you Robert Downey
he,
Jr.
I
is
mean, he did say that he didn't want to even come back to Marvel unless it was something special and it was
definitely
something that he could
this is clear
do
that
something different. Yeah, which is this.
yeah
Yeah, I don't see why Robert Downey Jr. would. First off, probably be way too expensive for DC anyway, and on top of that, too, I don't know why invite the comparisons, right? I
yeah
think he,
he would have the actors to go where the money is, if you ask me.
yeah,
But yeah, there's no in DC. There's no hero where I could see Robert Downey Jr. playing that's equal to Iron Man. I don't think he'd be
no.
obviously too old for Bruce Wayne, Batman, because I think because we want a younger Batman. Actually, well, I don't mean younger. I mean like middle, like in the 30s to 40s Batman. I think he's past that. I don't see like
I mean, yeah, he's not gonna play a character that's gonna stick around
yeah,
long term for sure.
he's a
I don't know.
probably
I don't really see him going over to DC, at least
if
not in the foreseeable future, like within the next
he would have
even
he
like 7 years.
if he's willing to go bald, he could have played a good older Lex Luthor.
Yeah, I
Like
mean, he was up to play the Lex Luthor too. He was up
which
to
one?
play Doctor Doom as well. So
Oh, I think he'd be a great Lex Luthor. Actually, I think
yeah,
he'd be a great. I think he'd be a better Lex Luthor than Doctor Doom. Actually.
yeah. I mean, he
Oh,
probably would fit a
procrastinated.
Lex Luthor.
No, I'm just. I guess I'm just saying the equivalent of
He's just like coming up with ideas.
yeah,
Yeah, we're
yeah,
just coming up with ideas. Because yeah, I really don't see it happening. And on top of that
yeah.
too, it's not like I have or
Or
I mean, we're struggling for ideas to see. Lex Luthor would be kind of cool, but again, it's like they're going
it's
for a
too late
younger
now.
Lex Luthor.
Yeah, it's too
Yeah.
late now. Um, I mean,
I mean
yeah,
this I mean like he said, I think what he said was pretty like on the money. Like yeah, if he's I mean first off, we kind of knew he would come back even if it was some cameo, he would come back just to say hey, you know.
Doom
But
Patrol.
if this is what he wants to do, I mean why doubt him, I feel like. I mean, it's just the script's got to be good, but we know that he can make a I mean, he can, you know, give a hell of a performance. So, no, I don't think
I
so.
I bet I blinded. I'm gonna tell you right now. It's 2 years. 2 years. This movie comes out. I'm telling you all the naysayers. I'm gonna go with my hot take here. In 2 years, to remind me if I'm wrong. I'm gonna tell you my hot take here. People, the naysayers, they're gonna turn and love this.
Yeah, I
I
think so too. I think so too. Because this is like too big to.
who says he can't do both? Right?
Would he want to do both? That's
I
the
mean,
thing. Would he want to do both? I'm more of the
I'm,
camp of I think he wouldn't want to do it, regardless
I
of
mean,
how
he
much
could
money
do.
they
What if he
throw at
wants to
him.
do DC? What if he wants to take on a role in DC just for one or two movies, and he gets be
Yeah,
stay Marvel?
maybe one movie for
Yeah,
sure.
I mean, why not? Why not?
But
Like,
again, it would probably be too expensive, though. That's what I think as well. It's like, could DC even afford that?
well, the
I feel
Batman
like
actor
they
is probably gonna be the
gotta.
high. Whoever becomes Batman is probably gonna be the highest paid actor from Warner Brothers, more than
I
sports
mean,
bets get.
but how do we know
I
that
know,
for
but
sure? I mean they're gonna get a Batman who's gonna stick around, right? So all these like characters are gonna be played by pretty much unknowns or
not
not like
Batman,
well known. No,
not
I
Batman.
feel like Batman is gonna be played by someone who's not like they're a rising star. They're not like an A-lister. There's no way.
Well, Batman's always been like an A-list actor, though.
I mean, not necessarily. I
Well,
mean, they're pretty much people on the rise. I mean,
I
people
mean,
who were maybe not even people thought, hey, I mean, look at Michael Keaton.
but
Michael Keaton, people thought
Michael
wouldn't play
Keaton,
Batman.
but Michael Keaton was a hit though with Beetlejuice and some other comedy movies.
Yeah, that's what I
Even
mean. He was like a rising. He's not an A-lister. Like who?
Val Kilmer wasn't a rising star. And he was a big hit. He was already a major star when he became Batman.
Mm,
George Clooney actually was on what's that show ER, and then Batman became his like big movie break. Even though I didn't
but
do.
who would you consider to be an actor that would like what kind of actor? I'm not saying this person will play Batman, but what kind of actor are you
Uh,
talking about? Because I feel like it will be some rising star. I mean, Glenn Powell kind of makes sense, like someone who's in
Grandpa's
the
the
range
hottest
of
right now. Right now.
yeah, because he's like a rising star, but he at the same time he's pretty cheap,
Hey,
and he's
what's up?
probably could do this for another 10 years.
Hmm.
That's the kind of actors I'm talking about. Someone who's like rising star, cheap, and will do this for 10 years.
Um, who's in his 30s? Or Paris is like actually almost 40. Isn't he like in the high 30s?
Yeah, he's gonna be 40 by the time Batman Part 2 comes out.
Yeah. Oh, not. I don't know. Like,
Ooh, gotta plug this in.
I mean, the look of Batman, like, that's a good question. I don't know.
Yeah, I really don't know. That I feel like it. I mean, it could be someone who's. I mean, if they are doing what
Tom
Degrassi's
Holland,
saying they're gonna do,
really. Tom
where
Holland.
Bruce Wayne is not gonna be the main Batman, but Dick Grayson is, then I mean, yeah, then they could go with
Yeah.
someone who's an A-lister.
Dick Grayson. The thing is, Dick Grayson. If you really look at his face, how it's shaped, looks very oddly similar to Superman.
Yeah, I mean, well,
A
I mean, Bruce Wayne and Superman do look alike in the
little bit,
comics
yeah.
too.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, it's weird though. It's weird. Well, if you think about the Trinity, they all have the same color hair.
Yeah,
Michael Keaton would be a great Joker. I agree, man. But like, because Michael Keaton would be a great villain in anything. I mean, yeah. Let's continue.
I'm just so shocked. I'm going a little off track here, but
Oh,
don't worry.
I have a hot take. This is probably a long way off, but I was just thinking this: if they're going to be a Justice League movie, I know who's going to direct a Justice League movie. James Gunn.
I guess.
I wonder what Degrassi would think if they ever do a Justice League movie in the future. It's probably gonna be James Gunn. It's gonna be James Gunn. I could just see it.
Yeah, it's probably most likely going to be James Gunn.
Yeah.
I have my notes here. All right, so clearly this is a take on what Iron Man was doing in Civil War, right? He wanted to register all the heroes.
Oh, it's not. Well, this is. You heard this part. It's nothing like Civil War. This is a multiverse movie.
He was in cahoots with the government. Captain America was like disgusted, and all the fans.
Cahoots the government. Avengers were created by the government. Created by S.H.I.E.L.D. Who do you think the S.H.I.E.L.D. responds to? The government. The government. Despite needing a registration act, the registration act should not have been needed in the first place. If you really think about it, it should not have been needed in the first place. Okay? The Avengers should have been basically soldiers under the American government. They should not have the registration act. If you really think about blinded, don't you? Wouldn't you see? Do you see my point there?
Could you explain a bit more?
Okay, you know how I said Civil War. You know the Civil War thing, right?
Uh-huh.
She said, "Oh, the government. They weren't against the government, stuff like that." But they're the Avengers. The Avengers are actually a division under Shield, where Shield.
Well, Shield was like separate from the government. That's the thing. It's a little bit weird.
But it
Shield
shouldn't
is
be.
supposed to be an offshoot of the government, but I mean, it
It
kind
should
of
have been.
wasn't.
It should have been like it should be like a division of the government, right? Like
Because
different.
the thing is, if they were part of the government, why didn't Hydra infiltrate the entire U.S. government?
Yeah. Well,
They only infiltrated Shield.
so basically, if you really think about, basically, Shield is a bunch of vigilantes. Everybody that is Shield is vigilantes.
I mean, after Winter Soldier, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, the Shield was like. I mean, yeah, what you're saying is right. They were offshoot of the government. They basically the government looked the other way while they did stuff, right?
Yeah.
So, and I'm sure the government also probably was helping them too. I mean, based on the stuff that happened. I mean, like in the first Captain America, right? Like the
Yeah.
experimenting with the serum and stuff like that.
It's like a.
I mean, the thing is, like the MCU never after the Winter Soldier, it was kind of like that was it. They never. Actually, I'm kind of surprised they never reestablished Shield.
Not really.
No, they never really. I mean, I know Agents of Shield was kind of doing
Grace
that,
Randolph is
but,
real, yes.
yeah, she is.
But I don't think what she's talking about here. I don't think it's the point of him being the variant. I don't think this. I don't think.
No,
It's
I
anything
think
with-
she's trying to say what I was saying, that he's the antagonist. Like
Okay, yeah.
Civil War made Iron Man the antagonist to Captain America.
Let's see.
Fans were disgusted, so I guess this is going in that direction. Also, of course, it brings about Superior Iron Man. Now, Superior Iron Man was the evil version of Tony Stark in the comics, and there had been rumors that that character would appear in Multiverse of Madness and that Tom Cruise would play the character, which I also would prefer to this. I would prefer that Tom Cruise was Doom, to be honest with you. I would basically
Doom. Tom Cruise would not be a good Doom.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that casting.
No. She is annoying, but Tom. I'm sorry, but Tom Cruise.
Also, she got the comic wrong. This is
Yes, she
Superior Iron Man was like 2014 to 2015. What she should be talking about instead is the infamous Iron Man, because that's a lot more relevant, because Iron Man Tony Stark was dead, and
Yep.
Dr. Doom and Ironheart basically split the mantle of Iron Man, which is exactly what they're doing now in the MCU. Superior Iron Man, I don't remember its entirety, but I'm pretty sure the premise was that Ultron was controlling Tony Stark. It might have been someone else, but I think that's what it is. And yeah, the Superior line was kind of like, Superior Spider-Man, where the villain was
Yeah.
the hero. But this is different. This is the villain.
Yeah.
This is like a villain being. I mean, he's the hero. The villain looks like the hero. I don't know. It's not. They haven't really done something like this in the comics, besides what I told you with Tony Stark being Kang. And I mean, technically, the Thunderbolts is kind of similar. I mean, they're all very. Superior Iron Man, this concept is kind of all similar. It's just that it's executed in a different way. So, yeah, I mean, like I said, Marvel is not super like heavy into the multiverse stuff. I mean, there was the what if, obviously the stuff with Secret Wars, right?
Mhm.
But with Jonathan Hickman and setting up the Avengers and all that stuff like that. And obviously they had the Ultimates comic, which is an alternate universe, but yeah, I think DC was more in line with the idea of like different Earths and all that stuff because I mean they had a bigger mess of a continuity than Marvel did.
Mhm.
So and I think that's the reason why Marvel has never really rebooted. I mean, they just I mean, look, they rebooted the Ultimate line, but they're not going to reboot the 616.
No.
Maybe I'm sure in the next couple of years they will though. We will see.
Basically prefer anyone else was Doom. And I'm by the way, I love Robert Downey Jr. as Tony Stark, but I feel this is going to undo a lot
Unless
of.
Robert Downey Jr. is a better actor than Tom Cruise.
Um mm,
Tom Cruise is a good actor, but I think Robert Downey Jr. could play has more range.
yeah, I mean Tom Cruise I would say yeah, maybe Robert Downey Jr. has a slight edge over him, but yeah,
Yeah.
I wouldn't underestimate Tom Cruise. It's
I
just
don't underestimate him.
yeah.
No.
I mean, would he be a good Doctor Doom? I mean, I could probably see it, but it's just like it's a little bit random.
I think
Um,
I think it's I think it's too short for Doctor Doom. I'm kidding.
I mean, I don't know. He doesn't. I mean, he does play villains. It's just that I don't know. Like it's. mm, I would prefer Robert Downey Jr. to
Yeah,
play
me too.
Doctor Doom. Yeah.
Me too.
Of what was done. So anyway, like look at that. Look at the Doom mask. It's no longer Doom's mask. It's now a take on the Iron Man mask, which I can see.
Yeah.
I totally, from an intellectual perspective, understand where they're coming from. But as a fan, I'm like, you just totally ruined Doom. I don't even like Doom. I don't
The
even think
thing
that's
is,
even a great character.
this is the thing, right? We don't know for certain if they did ruin Doom because I think they will. This is how they ruin Doom. If he is the MCU Doom after Secret Wars, then that
Mm-hmm.
means he's not going to be a reoccurring character. But if he is pretty much God Emperor Doom from Secret Wars, and his whole goal is to save the multiverse, then I don't know. I don't think that totally is like a knock against Doom. I just think they didn't set it up properly where maybe we could have gotten hints of this Doctor Doom and seen him before. Um, but I don't know. Grace herself has admitted that she's not a fan of Doctor Doom, but then she's like, they ruined the character. It's like, well, I mean, we haven't seen the movie, so I can't even say for sure. But
Yeah.
this is not if you're going to do the Secret Wars storyline, then this is kind of the only way because if they just were like Doctor Doom is now the villain of this multiverse saga and his first appearance is going to be Avengers and he's played by I don't know Killian Murphy or whatever. Yeah, that would be dog shit because there's no fucking setup for any of this. So the only way that they can make setup is by making him a Tony Stark variant, right? Like or some connection to Tony Stark. And that's why I think they went this route because they're like we fucked up with Kang, we don't have any other character who we set up. Oh, why not just make Tony Stark of a variant of Doctor Doom or an amalgamation of the two? And you're like, okay, fine, that makes sense. So then you can have I mean, they're gonna do God Emperor Doom. I mean, that's probably the most like who doesn't want to see I mean, I don't know if this will be in the movie, but who doesn't want to see Doctor Doom rip out Thanos' spine and him turn to dust? I mean, that's pretty badass. So, I mean, there's a lot of stuff they could do from that Secret Wars comic. There's a lot of cool
Mm-hmm.
moments, like
Yeah.
I mean, another moment that they could have had was Black Panther and the Infinity Gauntlet, but no Black Panther. So yeah. Oh boy.
What? Oh yeah,
No Black Panther, right?
yeah,
T'Challa is dead, and they're not going to recast him.
yeah. That's right. That's true.
Character. But I do respect the fans that Doom have. Look at Miguel though. Miguel's like, I love it. You're all crazy. So I mean, maybe. I mean, you know what? Maybe I'll end up loving it. You know, maybe this will
I
be like
think you will.
Heath Ledger as the Joker, and I'm like, Kevin Feige, you were a crazy genius.
I'm telling you, I think people will. They'll change their tune.
Yeah, I think so too.
All right.
But I mean, he better be have a like. Here is Doom's face. You can see Sue Storm there. We're going to talk about Fantastic Four. There's Doom's face in the Secret Wars specific comic. I give that a 0 possibility that Tony Stark agrees to that. I mean, Robert Downey Jr. I just give it like a 0.
Why
no
not?
way. It's going to be a beauty scar. He's going to, again, I'm telling you, like one half of his face, and then Robert
He's
Downey
not
Jr. will be
opposed to
like, "Look
makeup
at my-"
though. He's not. He's literally
Mm-hmm.
like, I don't know what the fuck she's got on about with this. Like, she's like, there's no way. I mean, you could see his fucking facial features there too. And I mean, if
Yeah.
he is like this ugly, deformed Dr. Doom, I mean, that's Robert Downey Jr. I mean, yeah, that's more horrific. I feel like, why would he he has to know all of this, right? Like, he's
Does
not
it?
he didn't sign up not
Does
knowing,
it?
oh, who the fuck Dr. Doom is, or
In the
like,
comics, does he get his face fixed though?
there is a storyline where he gets his face fixed. Yeah,
Like,
I don't remember what it's called, but I know that's something that happens. Yeah, he's done makeup in the past. That's what I'm saying.
It's
Like,
funny in the comics. His mother's name is Valerie, right?
yeah,
And Reed Richards names the daughter Valerie. Like,
yeah.
on
Well, I
her,
mean, the daughter
yeah,
plays a important role. So
yeah. Like Doctor Doom, just like Doctor Doom, like he's not as bad as a guy as he's he's kind of, I would say, more like what I could say, more like misunderstood at times,
mhm,
right? He's like a misunderstood character. Like, he's not exactly evil. I wouldn't say he's like pure evil, you know,
mhm,
or anything like that. Like, he has good qualities in him. Like he's not really truly a bad person. He's not
mhm.
like Apocalypse. He's not even like Thanos, the comics version of Thanos.
No, I mean, well, yeah, no, no.
Yeah. Yeah, he does speak up in the past.
My acting, and everybody will be like, the whole face is supposed to be scarred, and I'm just very upset about it. Okay?
Sometimes you scar me.
So the scars are important, but I do feel that this is like a combination of Superior Iron Man and Doom. But then you're like, why don't you just do Superior Iron Man? Well, the problem is Doom is the central focus point of this 2015
As a
battle.
Fantastic Four is
A superior Iron Man. Uh, that doesn't even make sense to do. It's like
No.
that whole thing that was like MCU fans who ran with that, because I didn't see anyone who read that comic was like, oh yeah, Tom Cruise should be superior Iron Man. Like, where the fuck did that come from? Like, I still don't even understand why people thought he was gonna be in Doctor Strange. Like, that was random as fuck. But and the thing is, this superior Iron Man involves Ultron, so I guess they just cut out Ultron, and then he's like an evil Tony Stark. So I think, honestly, if they were like, oh, let's just pretend they were, they announced this movie, but Iron Man is the villain, not Doctor Doom, but he's playing 100% Iron Man, but he's a villain.
Yeah.
That would, honestly, I think people would probably get. I don't think it would go over well. This is already not going over well, but that would be. I think that would kill the MCU, honestly, if they brought back just Iron Man He's Iron Man, right? He's flying around, Tony Stark, all the same fucking origin story, everything. But he's evil. Yeah, that's not gonna work. So this is their way of doing that, I guess, is like, okay, we'll have an evil Iron Man in quotations, which I think is slightly more interesting. It just really depends on how they do it and what's the storyline, because like to do the Doomsday plot first instead of just having it both be Secret Wars, I'm like, yeah, how like what is this Doom's motivation? Like, okay, it's gonna be similar to Iron Man, but how exactly? And
Maybe he wants to make multiverse specifically his home. I don't know.
well, I mean, it has to involve the creation of Battle World.
Oh yeah.
So it's like, is he just going to remake? Is it just going to be straight up from the comic, which is fine? But how do we get to that? That's the part I'm like, how are you going to do this within a year? Remember, they only have a year to set the shit up. So
Yeah.
that means the only thing that is going to set this up is Fantastic Four, unless we are like oblivious and Captain America and Thunderbolts have some post-credit scene that hints toward this stuff too. I mean, right now we're kind of like in the dark, which is insane because Marvel, like, we kind of knew, hey, Thanos is going to be the big bad. He's collecting the Infinity Gems, the Infinity or stones. You know what I mean? The Infinity Stones were in each movie, right? And that was the setup. Here, the only setups we got is incursions, the TVA, and all the multiverse stuff, and Kang. Right. Those are the only things that could lead into this. So, I mean, they got a lot to figure out. I still can't believe this is going to be next 2 years. The next 2 years, we're going to get this.
Yeah. I'm surprised too. I thought they're gonna move it back at least.
I thought they were going to move it back because this seems like so there's not going to be no Shang-Chi 2. There's not going to be a Doctor Strange 3.
They got D23, but I believe D23 they don't have a whole hour to themselves.
No, but I mean,
they got, because I believe D23 they have there's a 7 to 9 thing on Friday night, not this Friday, next Friday. But I don't believe Marvel and Lucasfilm have like a whole hour panel to themselves. I believe it's they don't have like a.
But I mean, if there's only going to be one, if right, there would only be one movie in between, or before Doomsday. And I think there's not going to be a movie. That's my guess.
The thing is, Fantastic Four. Well, Blade's supposed to come after Fantastic Four, but we don't know what's going on with that. Let's pretend Blade doesn't exist. Fantastic Four, Doom would be the movie after, right?
Yeah. Unless they announce something, that's what it looks like right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, DC Studios always going forward. Right?
I don't think Marvel's looking backwards. I think Marvel is trying to look at this and say, how do we get out of this mess that we created? Because this is technically them trying to like figure out how to like, they clearly could not bring back Kang.
No.
Okay, they really could not, because it's pretty much if they announced Kang Dynasty, that movie, would it make money? Sure, but it probably would have damaged the brand. So,
and DC only could look forward because they're just starting DC Studios. So you can't look backwards, right? DC Studios.
Yeah.
You could look forwards. Hopefully.
I mean, yeah, because I think Marvel just wants to get out of the multiverse saga as quickly as possible, so then they could do a reboot and then just start doing the X-Men stuff.
Battle World, Secret Wars, which we'll talk about. All right, so it's not another actor. I would have preferred it to be Michael Fassbender. As I said, basically anybody else. But it's going to be a Tony Stark variant.
I don't know why Michael Fassbender,
his face is going to be kind of scarred, I'd assume. But how are we going to handle his vast history with the Fantastic Four, who showed up at Comic-Con, not in costume. We'll talk about the Fantastic
Why would
Four
they show up
stuff
in
on Monday.
costume? Like, why?
Well, we've seen their costume
Because,
at
you
least
know, it was
Yeah.
basically,
first part of it. So
clearly, the Fantastic Four, the WandaVision meets the Incredibles. And I'm like, okay,
Jonathan,
maybe.
yeah.
All right? But by the way, that is a bitchin' skirt,
It is.
Vanessa Kirby. What a queen. All right, so, and I bet you that
Damn,
Johnny Storm has fire.
Vanessa Kirby regrew out her hair.
yeah,
Sue Storm doesn't have long hair like that, though. Does she usually have shorter hair? Whatever.
I mean I'm not really, but I seen the stills from the trailer. They definitely added makeup to her because she looks a little bit older. Like she looks like she's actually
She's
closer
in
to
her-
age of Pedro
No,
Pascal.
Pedro Pascal is
in
like
the
a
movie.
decade older than her.
No, you're not hearing what I'm saying.
Yeah.
In the trailer of what they showed at Comic-Con, I'm saying that they made her makeup that they did on her makes her look just like a little bit closer to age of Pedro Pascal.
Well,
Like her hair is not like she definitely looks older than she does like actually in person. I don't know, like I said, maybe that's not intentional, but it's like you could see on her face and kind of her hair too. It makes it look a little bit older. But
she wants
I
to
mean
know
it makes sense. She's supposed to have a kid in this movie.
Yeah, Vanessa Kirby is more of a queen.
Yeah, Michael Fassbender
Mm-hmm.
as Dr. Doom. That's a pass.
Vanessa Kirby is more. Well, yeah, that's true. Anybody's more of a queen, Grace.
Fire hair would be my guess. Woo, fire hair, flame on, baby, and every
Yeah, she's copying you, Grace, with the hair. No.
She's
way
talking about
possible.
Johnny.
Is he? No. Is that what? That's what she wants you to think.
Mm,
All right, but how on earth does variant Tony Stark have any history with the Fantastic Four? Does he know Reed Richards? Does he have a crush
The
on
thing
Sue Storm?
is, could this Tony Stark actually be part of this Fantastic Four universe? Because if we're saying Robert Downey Jr. is only going to be this Fantastic Four, I mean, not this Doctor Doom for a little bit. We know this Fantastic Four, they're going to be around for a while.
mhm.
You see my point? Like, well, is this Robert Downey Jr. Doctor Doom in their universe, or another universe? Just because
I'm going to assume it's from their universe.
I am going to, but I hope not. Because like,
I mean, what? Why not? It would make it way more convoluted if he's not.
yeah, that's true.
Because if he's from the MCU, what the fuck, right? That's not going to make any sense. And then if he's from, I mean, the thing is, if he's from the Fantastic Four universe, the thing is, they have to do some world building for that universe.
Yes.
So
mean-
I feel like, and this is my guess, right? This is just speculation, but since there's the Fantastic Four and they're the premier superhero team, why not say that in this universe they were technically the Avengers, and the Avengers never existed because, well, Tony Stark was Doctor Doom, and he went on a different path. That's why the Avengers never really came
Assembled.
together, right?
It's
Yeah,
just-
and you can go into detail, like there's no Captain Marvel, and maybe they never found Captain America, and all these other characters don't
yeah.
exist.
You don't have to Avengers in every universe. Yeah, like we know there's some Avengers we know there's Avengers in some universes, but you don't have to do it in all of them. 'Cause we know
I mean, so far it seems like there's only been
Wolverine.
Avengers in
Wolverine.
yeah, like Wolverine had his own Avengers. He mentions it in the movie,
Yeah.
just not in the Fox universe, obviously, but
Yeah.
but
his,
yeah,
that
I think it
universe-
would be interesting though if they did
Yeah.
something like that. It's cool world building.
Storm, which is a big part of the Secret
Uh-oh.
Wars.
No,
And then also, does he also do magic and science? So that's a big part
Yeah.
of Doom.
yeah, he
Doom
would.
not only
Yeah, that's what I said. That's what I said. Doctor Doom has always been known to combine magic and science.
Yeah.
He wants to be the most powerful. He literally wants to be a god.
Mhm.
He wants to.
Which is what he's going to get in Secret Wars.
Yeah.
is science literate, but he's also like Wanda. So did Robert Downey Jr. see?
He's like Wanda. He's more like Doctor Strange, actually. He doesn't have reality bending powers. He has to steal that though,
Mhm.
doesn't he? He doesn't have Wanda's
Um,
powers. He
well, yeah, it's not Wanda's powers, but he has to study it. He doesn't know
yeah.
this. Yeah.
Yeah, he's like he's human. He's human, and when we know in the MCU, all human can learn magic. Clearly, from Doctor Strange movies, any human can learn magic. If you really think
Well,
about
from
it,
the MCU, wasn't it like you have to be like specific?
I don't know. I
It
don't
has to
know.
be like a specific person. Because
Well,
remember, what's it
I guess,
called?
I guess America
Ned.
Chavez. Oh, was it?
Oh, by the way, there's an interesting
No,
rumor.
Ned had that thing on her, the ring thing.
Yeah, he had the ring, but remember, he has an interaction with Doctor Strange saying, "Oh, you could do this," and then he's
Oh,
like, "Oh." He says something. Doctor Strange says something to him that implies that you
okay.
need to, you actually need to have like, I don't know, some like I don't know, you have to be special to learn magic.
But Doctor Doom does not have Wanda's built reality bending powers. He can steal that. I know he's trying in the
He could
comics.
steal that.
In the
Well, that's
comics,
what I'm
he's trying.
saying. Wouldn't it make sense if he teams up with
Can you
Scarlet
imagine?
Witch?
Can you, I don't think so because the Scarlet Witch is getting redemption. She's gonna become a hero again if she comes back.
I mean, the thing is, the only thing that I mean, we'll see what happens with Agatha, but the thing is, if her whole goal is to have
What if she
kids,
kidnapped
you
him?
could have Doctor Doom be like, "Hey, I'll give you back your kids. You work for me, and we'll
Well,
rewrite. We'll build Battle World, and
the
you can live your
rumor
life."
the rumor is Mephisto may have something to do with the kids.
But I'm saying if they're going to do Battle World, right? Battle World is a complete.
But yeah, the Doctor Strange, Doctor Strange was be like, yeah, I could give you that, but he'd just be lying to her because he
And
really
also,
want.
like I said, Doctor Strange is the. I mean, he works for this Doom in Secret Wars. It's the ultimate Doctor
I
Strange.
mean,
I'm pretty sure.
I can see Doctor Strange using lying to Wanda to say that because he wants her powers. He wants her powers.
I mean, I mean, the
In
thing
the
is, if
comic,
they're
right? In the
going,
comic, remember in the comics, then like Doctor Strange pretend to fall in love with Wanda so he could just steal her abilities.
I don't remember that. It sounds familiar, but I couldn't tell you for sure. Someone's gonna have to correct us in the chat or
I
something.
I know the Marvel Heroes game. He was like stealing every important artifact. Like he stole the Darkhold. He stole like all this important
Yeah,
magic stuff. Um,
but I'm saying again, like, I mean, I mean, besides, okay, if they're doing Doctor Doom, they're pretty much going to do the 2015 one, and
yeah.
that I mean, he's the one that is going to create Battle World. So I mean, and there's going to be some
What?
people who are going to work for him,
What if everybody has
right?
reality
So
bending powers? What if there was a Wanda in
yeah,
his universe
probably.
and he stole it, stole her powers from there, and like you don't know, she's a Nexus
Yeah,
being.
we don't know. Yeah. I mean, well, okay, I was gonna say this. This is either a rumor or I think it is a rumor, but they're saying that the Galactus that appears in Fantastic
Yeah.
Four is there's no other Galactus in the multiverse. There's only one.
So that's gonna be.
So
Is that Galactus gonna be like traveling
he's
through the
probably gonna
multiverse?
be traveling. Yeah. I mean, maybe he's the maybe. I mean, maybe they could establish like, hey, Doctor Doom.
They might actually turn Galactus. I mean, the Avenger. You know what? Galactus actually might be the main villain of this saga. Doctor Doom might
Or
be
at
more.
least Doomsday.
Yeah. You know what? These might be the two main villains of the saga.
Yeah, well, like I said, Galactus is in the original
Yeah.
Secret Wars. So he's on the villain team, so it makes sense.
Yeah. So it could be like. Don't be surprised if these two are in cahoots somehow, or I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I think it would make sense if Galactus is maybe
Hey,
Galactus is
Red.
somehow causing incursions.
Oh yeah.
I mean, who really knows like how they're going to explain it, because they do got to maybe simplify some of the stuff so it's not super convoluted. But yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's move on. Oops.
WandaVision and go like, I'd like to do that. So Tony Stark's going to be still doing all of his tech, and then he's also going to be doing magic like Wanda. You know, I mean, I'm
Not
not
just
saying it's
Wanda,
Wanda
man. He learns.
but I mean,
He learns the magic from in Taj Mahal, that kind of magic too. He learns all kinds of magic, Doctor Doom.
Hmm. Well,
Like,
he'll learn anything in order to get what he
yeah,
wants.
yeah.
That's yeah.
like that's kind of weird. I don't know how I feel about that as well, but he has to do it, or everyone's going to be like kind of upset. So I'll be interested to see how that works out. All right, so let's talk a little bit about the Russo brothers. There they are at the top. All right, they're back. There they are with Robert Downey
Starks
Jr.
play the Riddler. Take away the mask, play the Riddler in DCU.
and Kevin Feige. The Russo brothers. Now I'm not sure if they're the best choice.
I
To be
can't
honest.
fight got fat, huh? Oh my god, even with the sports jacket on, he got bigger. Yeah.
With you.
Who?
Now I'm not sure if they're a very good choice.
He put on weight even with a sports jacket on. Or was he always a big guy?
Who? Wait, say that again. I'm not hearing.
Kevin Feige looks like he put on weight.
Oh, Kev.
So is one of the Russo brothers. Which one is that? One of the Russo brothers looks like he put on weight. Oh my god.
Stressed.
Stress. I'm not here to fat shame, guys. I'm sorry. Nah.
Because they're action heavy as directors, and Secret Wars just became a very story heavy world building, like Harry Potter. Like basically this.
This game, I bet you Secret Wars to be a lot of action. A lot of it.
Mm-hmm.
This is like Harry Potter.
I think it's gonna be the opposite of Endgame, where Endgame was like mostly story until the end.
Well, I mean, Doomsday. I mean, the title, yes, it's referencing Doom. I'm also going to assume it's referencing the fact that there's incursions happening. Doomsday, it's pretty much apocalyptic, the end of the world scenario, like, and what I think if they pull from Secret Wars, then they have to pull from the Avengers and New Avengers, right? That came before that comic.
Let me ask you, Kang was supposed to be responsible for the multiverse incursions. You think Dr. Doom is gonna be responsible now?
Yes, that's what I think. Or no. I don't think Dr. Doom is responsible for the incursions.
But who will be?
I think it's either going to be, because I mean it says Doomsday, but I think that's a play on words.
What if this? Unless this might be.
Or it has a double meaning.
Since Dr. Kang is gone, basically bitten off, but he left the multiverse in shambles with the incursions and stuff.
I mean, that the thing is, I don't know, like if they want to bring in Kang, because
Kang, just like he left. No, Kang is gone, like physically all that, but he left him with a present.
I mean, they could do two things, or I mean, they could do multiple things, but for simplicity, I think one, they just say incursions are caused because the multiverse is Loki can no longer hold up the multiverse. It's just going to happen, right? The two worlds are going to collide, and the multiverse is going to collapse within itself. And the Avengers learn this.
I know it.
And they pretty much I think they're going to have to play with the idea of the Avengers trying to save their world or stop the incursions, because that's what happens before Secret Wars, right? The Illuminati knew the incursions was going to happen. And so they all came together and were like, hey, we got to figure this shit out, right? Now, some of the Illuminati were in agreement that the incursions are inevitable, and the only way to stop them is by saving our world, which means that they have to kill another world full of people. And Captain America was like, we can't fucking do that. And so what they did was they were like, fuck you, Captain America. And they brainwashed him and pretty much wiped his memory. Yeah. So he didn't remember that was going to happen. Now, when the incursions finally came, I think like a bulk of them were like, no, we can't do this. And the only one who did do this who basically destroyed the world was Namor. Namor was like, "You guys are bitches, and you guys are pussies, and I'm just gonna do it myself," right? Because he's kind of like someone has to save us, right? So he does it, but it's not enough, right? Because
Yeah.
it's still all the incursions are gonna fucking this is happening across the multiverse, but that was kind of like the dilemma that they were in, and realizing that like they couldn't actually stop it, and that's what leads to Secret
Okay.
Wars.
Red, buddy. Red. I know the reason why it did not pop up is because I had to do it through Streamlabs' desktop and stream from there. And I don't know how to do that through Restream, honestly. But but I'm on my dashboard. I do see your message. Thank you for the tip. So I'm gonna read it out loud for you, Red. So I
Okay.
hope this pop-up works. What did it? Better than my own relationship. Oh, Red, we
Damn.
know you. But
What
thank
happened
you.
to those side bitches?
Yeah.
Damn. But yeah, that's like an abridged version of what happens before, because it's long as hell. It happens. There's Avengers, and then there's New Avengers, and they are written by Jonathan Hickman leading up to Secret Wars. And it was pretty good, but it is very long, and I can't remember all of the details because it was like very fucking complex in terms of like what was happening. But I mean, I mean, the thing is, after Doctor Strange, I thought they might have established the Illuminati, but clearly not. They could just say maybe like the Avengers are the Illuminati, and
Yeah.
maybe Captain Marvel and Hulk and some of these other characters, Wong, maybe they knew about the incursion, and they were plotting ahead of time, but they didn't know what to do. That would kind of make some sense. But yeah, so and then the other way is they could say maybe Galactus is causing these incursions, and so then you can have, I mean, you can have the classic, the heroes go up against Galactus, right? So
Yeah, they need something where with DC, we know who it is. It's the Anti-Monitor. They need something here, right?
yeah, they need. I mean, but I just have a feeling like
Galactus could be their
Doomsday is a play on two different things.
Galactus could be like the version of the Anti-Monitor in the MCU.
Yeah, I mean, he's the world eater, right? That's his
Yeah.
whole goal.
Well, Anti-Monitor's like the universe eater.
Yeah, I mean,
Not
yeah,
the
he could be some. Yeah, he could. I don't know. Maybe he's destroying the multiverse or something like that. But I mean, the thing is they've. I mean, it's not like we got just one project that referenced incursions. We got a couple of them.
Mhm.
Captain Marvel talked about incursions, and we know that Monica Rambeau's in a totally different universe. So they, I mean, listen, they gotta. I know people are like they gotta move on from the multiverse stuff, but they set this up, so
They can't move on. They have to finish it.
they gotta finish it. They gotta wrap this shit up.
Yeah.
So the only way is by making it interesting.
They're too deep into it.
Yeah, definitely.
Potter. I would have called up Alfonso Cuarón and been like, hey, you want to come play in my sandbox? I mean, that's kind of who you need. Like,
No,
I don't
Alfonso Cuarón could make it like Home Alone, not Harry Potter.
Mm,
know if the Russo brothers are very commercial. And this is I worry a little bit, and I wonder who's writing this. I hope it's not Michael Waldron. I'm like, Michael Waldron, what are you
no.
gonna do?
No, I think watching doing Secret Wars, not this. No, they have a writer. They have one writer. The one who did some of the Avenger movies is coming back. The
Yeah.
writer.
No, I think Michael Waldron is no more.
Yeah. They did she not know that they a couple days ago it broke that one of the writers for the Avenger movies that worked with the Russos is coming back? Did she not know that?
No, this was Saturday, right?
Oh,
So
okay.
it
Yeah, you're
wasn't
right.
confirmed.
All right, so let me close the poll. Let me see what you guys. Oh, look at all the votes. I love it. All right, so the votes are 37% of you are intrigued. Love that faith in Marvel, baby. They have earned it to a kind of a degree. I think a lot of us are on a Deadpool and Wolverine high right now. I saw it again tonight. I don't.
Saw the same night as you.
Yeah, there's people who are like the MCU is dead because of this.
What?
I mean, the MCU I feel like was dead before this. So I don't know, right? Like,
What?
I mean, I
I
really
don't
do
know how to
wonder
feel.
what
Oh,
some
it
of
was
these
a
people
typo.
wanted
Sorry about that. At
to
22%.
I don't know what they want.
like.
Love it,
Did they
20%, and
expect them
very
to
upset,
be like
19%. So you guys are kind of
with
all
the multiverse? There's no way that was gonna happen
No.
because this is the thing. Like the criticism for the MCU, I feel like has been bouncing around recently. Like first it was, oh, do you remember this? It was, oh, they're not setting up anything.
No, exactly. Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
And then it was, oh, now the multiverse
Yeah.
saga, it's like run its course. Well, they do have something. Obviously, they didn't set up this Doom stuff, but they have the incursions. They just never developed it properly. Like in reality, like Doctor Strange should have been what the title says, Multiverse of Madness. And Doctor Strange is learning about incursions, different universes, they're colliding,
I mean, well,
all of that stuff.
multiverse. If it's not even supposed to be called, if it's not even supposed to be a multiverse movie in the first place,
Yeah, it wasn't going to be, but
it's
they made it
wasn't
that
supposed.
way.
It wasn't even supposed to be about Wanda anyway. It was supposed to be about Nightmare, the villain.
Yeah, I mean Loki, I guess Loki's enough to go off of. The thing is Loki's not a movie though. Like that's the thing. It's like,
No.
oh, now they're saying you don't need to watch everything to know. It's like they're what they should have done is they should have said the movies just like how they were before, they all connect and you have to watch the movies to understand. The TV shows are like supplementary material. That's what it should have been. Like everything else, you don't need to watch it, but the movies, yeah, you got to come and watch the movies because
Movies,
each
yeah.
one is going to develop something. That's what they should have said.
But they said like stuff. Oh, you don't need to watch the TV shows. But it's like when you watch
Well, they
Marvel.
said they don't need to watch everything.
Oh yeah, but you know
You could
what?
pick and choose.
You know what? But for the Marvels, they should at least give you a blurb and tell you how Miss Marvel and Monica Rambeau. They'd be like, you gotta watch one division for Monica Rambeau, and you gotta watch Miss Marvel for
Yeah, Cat, that was dumb. That
yeah.
the whole stuff they did with the Marvels was not a good idea. It should have just been a Captain Marvel movie, and
I'm just, you know what? It's like the comics. I said this multiple times. If they want us, not, I know they said they're not going to make us watch everything, but if they want us to watch
Mhm.
some stuff and some stuff, and this character appeared in another movie or TV show, and people haven't seen that TV show or movie, but they don't understand this character, how this character can be like Captain Marvel, give us a blurb like they do in the comics. Please.
Mhm.
Please. Give us a blurb or something like that. Okay? I know it doesn't look good in the movies, right? I mean, movies don't do that. Obviously, they do it in the comic books do that. Movies don't do that. Like, but with Marvel, you might have to do something like that with their movies and TV shows. You might
Right.
have to give them a blurb so people that haven't seen something understand, understand. Oh, I have to check this out. I have to check this out? How does so it can make sense? You gotta do that,
Mhm.
man. You gotta do it like the comics, right? Like Blinded, you gotta do it like the comics.
Yeah, I mean they gotta just. I mean, there's some stuff in the comics where, yeah, if they're gonna get everybody to read the event, this
Yeah,
leading up to events, like it's usually whoever's writing the events go read their previous stuff because that's going to be relevant to the events, right? So like Jonathan Hickman and Secret Wars,
yeah.
go read Avengers and New Avengers. That was relevant to the story. So I mean, that's what I just feel like they didn't pick projects that were interesting. They didn't pick projects that fit the multiverse. They didn't establish the multiverse rules and conventions and all that stuff that fits, and they didn't actually have a direction. They were just sort of like establishing things and
Hmm.
not actually paving. Like in all reality, even though it wasn't perfect, the Infinity Saga had a setup. They were collecting MacGuffins.
Great
The
setup.
threat was established within the first phase,
Yeah.
and every movie in between was about building the characters and making sure people love the characters and making sure their arcs actually had an arc when the Infinity Saga ended, so it makes sense of where they were at the ending of Endgame. But with this,
And
they just fucked up. I don't know what they were doing. They were just either high, they were smoking their own farts. Like,
you know what? To me, I said it so many times in streams. I think it's really, really hard to do multiverse stuff and time travel stuff I mean, you could do multiverse stuff, but like I think trying to do a lot of it could get confusing and hard. Like DC, they're in the Arrowverse, right? But it was like 3 episodes, like two,
Yeah,
3
but
minutes.
the thing is the multiverse idea, Marvel has it the simplest. It's called What If.
What if?
That's it.
Yeah,
That's it.
that's a good
And
point.
that's what it should have just been. It should have been we will establish that in different universes, different outcomes have happened. What if this character did this? The show was also a mess because it was not, it was like
Yes.
random scenarios. It should have been more like, very story focused. Like, oh, what happens in this moment in a civil war? What happens if I don't know, like these other characters joined Iron Man? What would have happened? Would Captain America have lost or whatever, right? That's what it should have been. It should have been going back to the previous movies and like playing with them and seeing, oh, what kind of different stories would have occurred, right? What happens if it wasn't Hulk who went to Sakaar, it was somebody else, right? And what would have happened, right? In Thor Ragnarok instead. And so but the thing is, they didn't do that. Then Loki, I feel like Loki should have been an ongoing show. It should have gotten, like, by now it should have had 3 seasons. You know what I mean? It should have been a show that each season we were, if you want to know about the multiverse and understand it more and its complexity, you watch the show. And then some movies, they are introducing the concept of, I don't know, maybe there's other people who are coming into this universe randomly in the post credit scene. That was another
Yeah.
thing too. Lots of post credit scenes in phase 4 and 5 were jokes.
Yep.
All
Yeah.
jokes. They have
Oh
nothing to
yeah.
do with anything.
Yeah.
What was the point of the post credit scene? It was, oh, we're establishing something else. So everybody's waiting to see. Now it's just a big joke. Like Captain Marvel one was relevant, but where's that going to go? No one knows. When, like, that's the problem. It should have been each post credit scene is going to tease the next movie, right? Winter Soldier teases Avengers because that's where Captain America is going to show up next. That's what it should be. The post credit scene is to establish where the character is going next and where the MCU is going next, right?
Yeah.
The Thor post credit
They
scene
they
should have
just
either established whatever
they
they're
just
doing with
say
these
now.
Avengers
They
movies.
just say now this character will return, but they don't say which when.
Yeah, we don't see where, we don't know where.
But I remember with Black Panther, the end of Black Panther said Black Panther will return in Avengers: Infinity War.
Yeah, because they had too many characters. That's another thing. Too
Yeah.
many characters were established, and they didn't need to. They also, I feel like some characters didn't need TV shows and movies. Like, I get it, they wanted to have Miss Marvel, but Miss Marvel really didn't need a TV show.
No.
Miss Marvel was kind of like, yeah, they established the whole bracelet thing, but again, where did that go? Like, we still don't even know why Shang-Chi's bracelet, and like, what is that gonna tie into?
Yeah.
Is that gonna tie into this multiverse stuff too?
Yeah.
Who fucking knows?
Let's continue this.
Over the place. I think that's what happens with a shock and awe announcement like this. We're just sent reeling and we're like, I don't know what to think. All right, so the Russo brothers. Clearly, all right, let's put Doom over here. 1 second, Doom. We'll get back to you in a minute. All right, so here are our 2 movies. Now, clearly the first movie is going to be a setup for the second one. So I guess they'll introduce Doom and what's going on with him. And then I guess maybe because Battleworld will explore Battleworld, which I'll show you a map in a minute. And then I guess then we'll go into Avengers Secret Wars. It'll be back to back, a 2-parter, just like they said, but very much like Infinity War and Avengers Endgame. So expect.
Was it Infinity War going to be 2 parts? Is it going to be called Infinity War Part 1 and Infinity War Part 2 before they?
It was going to be Infinity. Yeah, it was going to be Infinity Part 1 and 2, and then they changed it.
Yeah. I remember that.
Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, I think they were going to even call it Infinity Gauntlet, the second part, but yeah.
I mean, it was usually 3 years between Avenger movies, right? 2012, 2015, 2018. They're not doing it this time, so this is like they're going to end the multiverse saga really quicker than the Infinity Saga.
Yeah, they need to get this shit over with because it's not.
Yeah.
because it's convoluted and yeah, I mean, the projects that were not relevant and honestly, like they could have been, I would have cut them. Eternals, not needed. Thor: Love and Thunder, not needed. What else? I guess for TV shows, Miss Marvel's Secret Invasion, not needed. The Marvels definitely needed to be retweaked to just being a Captain Marvel sequel. Ant-Man and the Wasp was really not needed. I get it because Kang was supposed to be the villain,
Well,
but not in
in
hindsight, it
hindsight
was
now,
not needed.
yeah.
And yeah, I think once you cut up those movies, every other movie, I feel like they kind of needed to be there. At least, I mean, Shang-Chi established a new character. Oh, Black Widow, I would have gotten rid of Black Widow as well. That was not needed.
So,
You
shut
could
up, man.
establish Yelena in something else.
Yeah. Be quiet. I read. By the way, I read what you tipped me back.
Yeah,
I read what you tipped me, Brad. I don't know if you heard me, but Blinded heard me.
yeah, he did. He did.
Doomsday to end on a substantial cliffhanger ending. Now, will Doomsday take place in an entirely different universe where Doom is evil? That seems stupid to me. I think this is going to be a really, really strong story. Again, as I said, with lots of world building, and they'll probably need 2 movies to do it correctly anyway. All right, so as I said, I think it's very in service of Robert Downey Jr. I think Robert Downey Jr.'s career, it's no secret. I mean, he just won an Oscar. Isn't that funny? I'm sure the Academy is like, what? What a bait and switch. He's like, woohoo, I've got my Oscar. Back to the MCU.
Because he would never win an Oscar in the MCU. I mean, wasn't Oppenheimer?
No, yeah.
I mean, come on.
I just think it feels more in service of Robert Downey Jr. than it does in to the franchise in the comics. I think, obviously outside of Oppenheimer, Robert Downey Jr.'s had a very difficult time. As somebody just pointed out, the sympathizer, nobody cared about that at all. It just things have not gone well for him. So,
Yeah, but it's up for an Emmy. What is she talking about?
What did Thanos say, right? You could not, you come
Yeah,
back to me or whatever.
Yeah, he was. Well, you can tell
Yeah.
some of the cynic himself in my chat.
Like sometimes I feel like Grace like always downplays people's like, okay, yeah, maybe it wasn't like a commercial hit. Yeah, like this is hold on a minute. She was just saying, oh, the Russo brothers are like commercial guys and they need something else. Well, she just literally is
really?
dismissing.
Thank you. Hi, back.
Oh,
sorry. Continue.
Yeah, but I mean, she's dismissing like the fact that he made that show, and that show, yeah, maybe it wasn't commercial, maybe it wasn't a success, but I mean, it's nominated for an Emmy now because of his performance.
A lot of shows are not talked about or nominated for Emmys. Like,
yeah,
I'm sorry, like a lot of movies for Oscars that are nominated for Oscars, general audience doesn't know about.
Yeah, so I don't know.
It's sorry, it's a bubble we're in.
Yeah, I don't know. It's stupid.
Tell them to send a like. Tell them to come in and send a like to Wizard and Tony or whatever, and pop in if they're done. I don't know.
It's the same thing.
Oh, it is.
All right, so
we added John Cena to our group chat.
Yeah, you told me about that.
He follows us, so we're trying to interview him.
Oh man.
He came back to Marvel. He could not survive without him, so here he is back. Do you think I think Robert Downey Jr., who asked that? Zavi said, do you think that Robert Downey Jr. called up Kevin Feige and suggested this?
No. Oh.
I don't know. My guess would be that it was such a disaster with the Kang situation, and maybe they're seeing how much everybody's loving.
This is somebody asking her, right? That was somebody asking her.
Yeah, someone's just asking her that.
Yeah, we said this right. We really Feige got caught. It was Feige, right?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, and Degrassi back up too.
Jackman's return as Wolverine. Maybe it's all the thoughts and excitement about particularly.
Well, we know with Hugh Jackman, it wasn't Feige. It wasn't it? wasn't it? Well, Miles was able to one to convince him because Hugh Jackman he said he was done after Logan. Like he was done after Logan being Wolverine.
Yeah, he did say that, but he also did say he would come back for the MCU.
Oh yeah, but
Yeah.
but had to be Ryan Reynolds, right? Ryan Reynolds was the one.
Yeah, definitely for Ryan Reynolds. Yeah, but
It's
Ryan
not-
Reynolds was
I
definitely
think
the factor in that.
I think Hugh Jackman felt like his unfinished business with Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool. Like he wasn't happy with how they treated that in the origins. Obviously,
Mhm.
Ryan Reynolds wasn't happy with that, and and they finally got a chance. We finally got a chance to where we could finally work together and make this right. Deadpool and Wolverine.
Mhm.
It was just probably perfect timing. That's all. Perfect timing when they got together and they announced it. Because Deadpool and Wolverine was not announced at it was in 2022 they announced it, right? They announced it
Yeah.
movie, but it was not announced at San Diego Comic-Con.
No, they announced it like September of 2022.
Yeah, yeah. Usually that's not. Usually it doesn't happen, right? Usually they get announced.
Yeah.
Stuff. Yeah.
Maybe doing Superior Iron Man in Multiverse of Madness that made this come together. I still think they should have done a proper Doom, and I think I'm curious to see how people feel about there not being a proper Doom. Are there enough Doom fans that they just can't get over it? I mean, let's see. Let's see what happens. All right. So let's talk Secret Wars. Let's put Doom over here in the corner. Nobody puts Doom in the corner. I just did. Let's put Doom in the corner because, of course, he's a big part of this as we talk about what's going to happen. All right, so Secret Wars 2015. We were wondering which version they would go.
She is right because on the bottom, AWO on the YouTube channel. If you're watching on YouTube, it's actually backwards. He's right. Red is right, but on the actual restream dashboard, not dashboard, but actual restream setup, it's not backwards. It's fine. I don't know why it's like that on YouTube, but it's fine here because you can see it here, right?
Yeah. Sorry, hold on. I'm in a different page. What are you talking about?
You can see my icon is AWO is perfectly fine, right? AWO from
Yeah.
hold
on.
On YouTube, it's backwards.
Oh, so they mirror it. Let me check it. Hold on. So it looks
like OWA. Yeah. I don't know why it's like that.
On right now? What are you talking about?
No. If you look at watch my stream on your YouTube channel and see if my icon is backwards at the bottom.
Oh, I see what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is backwards.
But it's not backwards in the actual that stream.
No. That's weird because my image is not reversed either.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, well, I wonder switch and see. Let's hold on. The stream is lagging behind, so
actually this is a better setup than this down below because
yeah, then you could see us and you could see more details in the video. Is it behind? How come it's not? Oh yeah, it is. Damn, there's a big gap.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I see it now. It's still mirrored.
Oh, what is that? Why is it still mirrored?
Yeah, I have no clue. That's really weird. Because everything else is not mirrored. So.
Are we in a different universe or something? a different universe. Yeah. Well, yeah. This is multiverse version of Blinded and Aaron and AWO.
Oh man.
We're gonna put our Doom mask to take over.
Here's the 1984 one, which is more just like fighty. Clearly, they're going with the 2015 Jonathan Hickman Secret Wars. You can even tell in the title treatment. The new Secret Wars title treatment is directly from the comic, as you can see. Exact orange coloring, glowing. That's everything that it is. All right, so by 1984 version, we don't want to play with you anymore. All right, so as you can see, all the characters,
I don't know why she is dismissing the original because the original because the thing is with because this is the thing, right? The Secret Wars from 2015, it's not like they can do a one-to-one of that. They can't. They don't have enough characters. They don't have the established The whole thing was that it was the 616 merging with the Ultimates universe. And the Ultimates universe is still, even though obviously it had its problems, it was still a beloved universe like the
Mhm.
616. And there's characters that people wanted to see from that universe come over, mainly Miles, right? But the
Oh,
thing is, it makes more sense if they merge both stories,
that's
because then you can have Doctor Doom lead a team of villains up against the Avengers. So then, if they want to, instead of it just being like, oh, here's all the heroes and they're all back, they can also bring back some villains that were popular, and they can bring back whatever villains. It doesn't even need to be MCU related. So, I mean, the thing is that original Secret Wars, like, it's not story focused. It's more like very much like, oh, like here's all the characters interacting, and like, look, there was like weird moments too, like I think the X-Men were plotting against the Avengers because they didn't agree with what they were doing, and so Spider-Man was like spying on them, and then they
mhm.
were like, "Oh, Spider-Man's like, I'm gonna snitch on you guys. I'm gonna tell the Avengers and the Fantastic Four what you guys are doing."
You little
And
snitch.
then they like Professor X just like wiped his mind, and he
I
like
was like,
completely forgot. So yeah, I mean, it's more like, that comic is just like action, fight. Let's fight. The heroes are fighting, the villains are fighting.
yeah, yeah.
Everybody's fighting, everybody's interacting. They have like cool moments. Like, you have this moment where, like, I don't know who was it who threw the rock on them, but they throw this massive rock that's almost like, it's gonna crush everybody. And the only person who can save, like, the X-Men and Fantastic Four was Hulk. Hulk just like grabbed it, and they're like sitting in a hole while Hulk is like holding this rock, and they're all like jam packed in there, and they're like, oh, "Are we gonna die?" And it's like, yeah. I mean, yeah, for the time, it definitely was not story focused.
Mhm.
So yeah, I don't know if it would hold up today. Definitely not.
World. But it's very different. In the 1984 comic, again, they just all fought like in a big arena. But not the case here. Battle World, ooh, let me show
Oh yeah, I
Another
also
big day.
forgot.
Definitely gonna need my Gillette antiperspirant spray. Because around here, every
you big.
So in the original Secret Wars, obviously Beyonder was the one that plucked everybody and put them onto
Yeah,
Battle World and
that ain't happening.
let them fight. But the Doctor Doom in the new one, he gets the powers of the Beyonders, which I guess they're kind of like
I wouldn't be
the
surprised if
ultimate
they do that.
gods of the Marvel universe. I mean, that's kind of loose because I have no clue who's the ultimate god, but they have the power. They're kind of like they have the power to control the multiverse and everybody's stories. Like, they're the ones who are kind of like, they essentially they write the stories of
Yeah,
everyone in the multiverse. And so that's how Doctor Doom, that's the power that Doctor Doom gains and becomes
advertisement.
God Emperor Doom, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And because of that, he's able to form Battle World. And yeah, I mean, he pretty much makes himself like invincible as fuck, but yeah.
Oh, they're not gonna do that here.
No, they
MC,
are.
they're not gonna
Well,
make it.
why else would they not do this?
They won't make him invincible because MC watered down their characters.
Oh, I mean, he's obviously, they're gonna beat him, but
Yeah,
I'm sure they're gonna make him look pretty powerful.
yeah, sure, of course, of
Because,
course.
like I said, I mean,
Sorry, I'll be.
who doesn't want to see? I mean, you should pull up the panel of Doctor Doom ripping Thanos' spine,
I
and
saw
Thanos
that.
just dies.
I seen that. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's like one of the most badass moments, probably in Marvel history. But yeah, it's sick.
Be right back. Here's Battle World, just so you can really see it for a second. All right. It was a whole universe, as you can see, and a surprising little number of fights happened in Battle World. It was a lot of story, more. It was more story
Wrong.
than fighting.
Okay, I don't know why. This is, again. She keeps. I don't know why she does this. She says like she doesn't know something, and then she says
Yep.
something that it's like, I thought you said you didn't know it, because you're wrong.
Yeah.
There was fighting. There was a lot of like weird stuff that happened on Battle World. There was also like alternate storylines because that was mostly the tie-in stuff. Like they had like an alternate Civil War. They had like all the Ghost Riders fighting. Let me go look it up because it was like
Mm-hmm.
all these different types of tie-ins. Hold on.
But anyway, you can see, you know, they have little things like New Manhattan, right? Like, you know, you can see like, let's see here, you know,
Okay,
like the
yeah, I found it. So
Shield,
there was like
New Xand.
there was an Infinity Gauntlet tie-in that
I think major arcs in it.
yeah, there was oh my god, Weird World tie-in, Civil War tie-in, the Ghost Racers, that's what I was talking about, all the Ghost Riders, Captain Britain and the Mighty Defenders, the Thors, that's like the Thor Corp. Yeah, as Marvel Zombies had its own thing too. Hail Hydra, they had like a bunch of different you know, stuff going on Battle World with different characters. So yeah, and they were all it was like if you want to like read the if you just want the story, yeah, then just read the mainline events. But if you wanted to see all the other stuff that was happening on these little different continents, then you needed to read the tie-ins. So yeah. So yeah, I'm not sure why I mean, she should have elaborated, but yeah.
I don't know what to write. I should write something. Nah, I'm gonna write something else. On a different video of hers.
Damn.
The Deadlands, all that
Yeah.
kind of stuff. You know, like, you know,
What time
typical.
Where should I end this stream at? Like when? Because we're not.
Where are we at?
15:44.
Oh, 15:44. Oh, I think she says one more thing around like 20 minutes. You could skip to that.
Okay.
Yeah, she talks about the Thor Corp, and then
Yeah, it was a little bit like Princess Leia and Jabba the Hutt. So there's a little bit of that dynamic there too, and also her daughter.
I don't know if
Valeria
they'll do this stuff.
Was also
maybe, but you just play it and we'll talk about it.
Okay.
Of the story. So there they are together, and then also Reed Richards has a big battle with Doom. You know, a very important battle. And again, it was like playing out their decades-long animosity against each other, and the fact that Reed was really upset that Doom had basically stolen his life. But again, this was based on decades of storytelling, so you really, really felt it when you read the comic. Here, you're going to be like,
weren't they like college roommates at one point?
Yeah, they were like buddies or something. I don't remember all of the fucking.
Yeah, all we know is that
origins of
Dr.
it,
Doom went to a university where Reed went to, and they knew each other. Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
they're pretty much
These
rivals.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. for
what are
a
you
long
talking
time.
about? So I'm not quite sure if it'll have the same feel. Although it could be, you know, remember, sometimes they adapt storylines. Like Civil War was very different, you know, than it was in the comics. You know, there were some similarities. But, you know, I think that there could be this could be to some degree a little bit of a loose adaptation of the original comic. Although they did say that Fantastic Four will feature heavily.
I think pretty much
in
the
both
premise, some major beats, because if you think about it, I mean, whatever major beat will be, I don't know, juicy, you know, it'll get people talking. I mean, look at Infinity War, right? The them being snapped, that's in the comic, right?
Uh-huh.
That's what happens in Infinity Gauntlet. They get snapped and a lot of characters disappear and they're trying to get them back. So it was a shocking moment, but at the same time, if you know the storyline, it wasn't that shocking because that's what happens. That's kind of part of the story. So I mean, Marvel, I feel like Marvel is pretty good at just getting kind of the premise, getting the main gist of it all, and just like, you know, filling in the details, what makes sense to their universe. Because yeah, you can't do a one-to-one adaptation because the comics has decades of stories, right? So
Yeah.
it doesn't make sense, right? Because then people in the movies, even if you do put that in the movie, people are gonna be like, well, that's not explained, and where did this come from, and yada yada yada. So that's the reason why. But yeah,
of these Avengers movies, which is weird to me. I mean, I hope everybody likes the Fantastic Four. You're like, what if this doesn't work out? And Kevin Feige's like, it has to. So
Of course it has to.
that's my thoughts on it. I think there's
He
some.
can't butcher on the Fantastic Four, or his rep is going to take a major hit.
Yeah.
It's like he can't afford to be. Fantastic Four cannot afford to be a failure, man. For Kevin Feige.
Things that are exciting to see. I'm certainly, very interested in the Thor core and what they're, I like seeing different versions of the characters to this degree. Not just, Deadpool and Wolverine played everybody for humor and for laughs, which was fantastic. But this is going to play it more, hopefully, for story points. So we'll see how it works. I think it's risky. I think it's really risky. And I wonder how close. And also, I got to tell you, Secret Wars. Let me do a poll. How much you like Secret Wars as a storyline? Secret Wars is not. And also, look how much. Speaking of Secret Invasion, think about how much they messed up Secret Invasion. Like we thought, Secret Invasion couldn't be. You couldn't miss with Secret Invasion, and it was probably the biggest miss the MCU has had. So let me ask you if you're familiar with Secret Wars.
Yeah.
Yes, loved the comic. Yes, but the comic was medium.
Medium.
And then
Mid.
never heard. Okay, again, anybody can vote in a poll. All right, and then we're going to do a Q&A in just a moment.
We'll skip.
But yeah, so so my concerns are Secret Wars is a little. I mean, I thought it would be better if it was just a lot of fighting. But I'm open
skip
to them
like
really
5
exploring
minutes.
the story and
probably
really going
done
into
now.
it. But I just
Let's see.
Yeah,
that's
there
it.
it is, and it's
It's
even in the
done.
right place. All right, it's 11:30. We'll do 10 minutes of this because it's such a big deal.
Oh yeah, it's just
Maxwell
late.
says-
Oh, so that's enough. That's enough.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, everything else is just
Okay.
not much.
Okay. Oh, there goes the lovable Grace off our stream.
Mm,
Oh man. Look. Nothing outrageous from her. Nothing really.
I mean, she just says a lot of like,
No obvious.
I don't know. She always like I don't know about Grace's taste. She's a little bit weird, and she says a lot of things where you're like, what are you talking about? Like that doesn't make any sense, and
Mm-hmm.
it's just a lot of just I don't even know what you would call it. Like it's I'm not assumptions, not that because we're all assuming
she
what's
thinks different.
going to happen.
I think she thinks a little differently than us, obviously.
Well, because the thing is, I mean, instead of like saying, I'm not really sure of all the details of the story, she kind of just goes like, I'm not a fan of the story, and then she says things that are just like, well, that's not the story. That's not
The
what
thing is,
happens. And
The thing is blinded when you talk about when she's talking, right? And she's talking about where the source comes from. When you talk about it on here and on other streams, you kind of go into detail in the story. You talk about what happens in the story. She doesn't do that.
yeah, well, yeah, because she will do that for stuff she knows.
Yeah.
That's the thing, because I feel like she should do at least a little bit of research. For the Secret Wars story for both of them, and see like what parts were relevant to both, because they're both relevant. Like her just being like, well, this one is just them fighting. Grace, it's a fucking superhero movie. They're gonna
What do you
be
think it's
fighting.
supposed to be about?
Yeah. So you're like, and on top of that too, the thing is, if she was smart enough to look into the original Secret Wars, she would realize what characters they could use, because that's another question too. Because again, Infinity War and Endgame are definitely going to be mirrored, but
Yeah.
they're not. I don't want them to just be identical. I think they need to have like okay, Doomsday obviously has to end with a cliffhanger, but it shouldn't just be everybody's dead or some bullshit like that. It should be something like that's actually interesting, that makes you excited for the next movie and where it goes, and like all the story possibilities. And
It should just be them arriving on Battle World, and that's the end of the movie.
Well, it shouldn't just be that. That's what I'm saying. Like it because it needs to be a little bit more interesting. Because think about it, like with Infinity War, they got snapped, and then it's like, what's gonna happen, right? Like what are they supposed to do now that Thanos has pretty much won, right? And that was the question that everybody asked, like, what are they gonna do, right? Because they failed, and so and then in Endgame they doubled down by having Thanos destroy the Infinity Stones, and then they killed him. So there was even more intrigue. Like, okay, now they're fucked, right? So that's what they kind of have to do. They have to have that same level of drama and like suspense where you got to wonder like how are they going to win, because I think that's why those movies work so well, because the first time we've seen these characters always win, now they're losing, and how are they going to deal with that? And I think that's what makes these stories interesting, because or at least these new movies
You need
potentially interesting.
you need like another Empire Strikes Back ending.
Yeah, I mean that's what it needs to
That's what
be.
that's what Infinity War basically was. Empire Strikes Back.
Right.
The bad guys win. Yeah, because most of the MCU movies, the good guys eventually win in the end. Like they defeat the bad guy.
Right. And that's where I said in the previous stream, my pitch for what that would be kind of like a Magneto moment where
Yeah.
maybe the heroes are like, you know what, this world that's why it's like, if you have the conflict of how are they going to stop the incursions, and they know that it's either you let the incursion happen or you destroy the other world. So now you split the Avengers, because now the Avengers have to figure out what they're going to do. And maybe they fight, maybe they got to, whatever, they got to do something, right?
Yeah.
So, but there's drama there. There's some conflict between different groups. And so what happens if by the end of the movie, they just decide, hey, you know what, maybe Dr. Doom is right. We might as well just join him. And the other group is like, no, and that's where the movie sort of ends off, where some of the Avengers go off and join Doom to rebuild his world, and the others are opposing him, right? And that's why I say there's certain characters that in the Secret Wars comic align themselves with Doctor Doom, right? So like Doctor Strange, he aligned himself with Doctor Doom. So you know I think that's what I'm saying. There's, if you read that comic, there's a lot of things that they could pull from and they could do and make it interesting. And that's why I say I don't think people. I think people are they are going to flip on the whole Doctor Doom thing,
I'm telling
especially
you that. Yeah.
yeah, especially if it is something like the comic where you get the badass moments. He is a relatable or sympathetic villain. Um, and they actually make it interesting, like the multiverse has like some consequence, you know what I mean, where it's like, oh yeah, the
Mm.
multiverse doesn't exist anymore, and someone has the power to rewrite whatever they want and do whatever they want. What would happen? What happens if, so to speak, Iron Man, like how would he write his perfect world? Obviously
Yeah.
it's Doctor Doom, but if he was, their whole goal is to save the world and make a perfect world. Well, what would that look like? you know I think that's an interesting idea,
Tony
because
stopped the stream. Okay. Well. Okay.
yeah.
All right, Red. But well, he could super chat or whatever. Whatever. I think my sadness killed the entire stream. I mean,
uh,
did he have nothing else to say, where he just ended the stream? That's what I want to know. Like, all right, like, all right, but whatever. Yeah, I think we're ended here because
yeah, it's
that's
12 now.
yeah. So I planned. Okay, I'm gonna let you plug your stuff first. You said you upload a video or stuff. You were waiting
Yeah,
for.
I'm gonna have a video on Friday. I'm just
Okay.
because I haven't posted anything in a month on my community post, so I'm gonna post that, and then
Speaking of which, I gotta check my community
yeah.
posts.
Yeah,
So
the community post is pretty useful. But yeah, I have that video that's coming out on Friday. Even though it's done, I put up a community post telling people, hey, so they know, right? But yeah, that's pretty much it.
All right. For me, I think I am gonna do something. But oh yeah, I do have a topic for tomorrow. It's Marvel related, but I'm gonna look for the.
Right.
I'm gonna. Okay, I have the name on it. The name of the topic's gonna be. It's gonna be kind of related to this, but it's something that I saw people talk about. And Blind, I think you might be interested in this too.
Mhm.
Is the MCU relying on the nostalgia of past Marvel related characters to save the MCU?
Right.
And then, yeah, I think that's a very interesting topic because I've been seeing people say now on social media or even on stream.
Hmm.
Um, and I know technically Robert Downey Jr. is not technically the Iron Man, right? Iron Man, but you can still put him in this category if you want.
Right.
Tomorrow, I guess. Well, we'll talk about it tomorrow. Also,
Hmm.
um, I'm gonna do a Batman Cape Crusader review. It's not gonna be spoilers. That's gonna be an upload. Also, then I'm gonna be doing. Then I will be doing a Batman Cape Crusader spoiler review. Maybe Sunday. Will you be finished by Sunday, Blinded?
The show, yeah, I'll watch some tonight
There's 10
and then before I go.
episodes. What time is it on tonight?
Hopefully I mean, I thought it would be there at like 12, unless they do that bullshit where it's like,
3 a.m.
yeah.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, I might be doing spoiler stream Sunday. Yeah. So a review. It's gonna be uploaded. A spoiler review Sunday, and I'm gonna do. And me and Blind has decided to do a Grace Randolph video on a stream
Yeah.
on the Batman Cape Persuader too.
Yeah,
I don't
because
know
her
what that is.
review is interesting and I want to compare it to
Us?
after watching the show, right?
Yeah, yeah. To us, yeah, in our viewing, and yeah, you know what? We might do both on Sunday. You might do a spoiler review on
Possible.
Sunday, and then take a break, and then do the Grace at night.
Yeah, that might make sense.
Yeah, yeah. Maybe we'll do two on Sunday. All right. Yeah, and on D23, I'll have something for D23 on Friday. I just got next Friday, not this Friday. Next Friday, I just got to make sure when Marvel and Lucasfilms are having a presentation. I don't think they're actually having their own presentation, though, like their own like designated hour for each studio. I don't
Mm,
think they're having that. All right,
okay.
but yeah. So yeah, tomorrow I'll be here. Friday probably nothing. Maybe even though I do stuff on Friday sometimes. If there's something interesting to talk about Friday, maybe I'll do stuff for Friday. Yeah,
Right.
but Saturday, no, Saturday might be busy. Yes, but Sunday for sure. So make sure to like, share, subscribe, and comment.